my goat these days is that kids are coming to school without any food in their bellies. I mean, Canada is one of the richest countries in the world, but yet we have kids coming to school not knowing what they're going to eat for breakfast or going home to sleep in. I mean, forget about getting an A on the big chemistry test. These kids have enough to worry about. Around 400,000 kids live in poverty in Ontario alone. That's 15%. And I'll give you another one. Guess what city has the highest child poverty rates in all of Canada? I'll give you a hint. It's not Moose Jaw. That's right, it's Windsor, Ontario. Ontario knows they have a problem. And to their credit, they're doing better. It's not all sadness and pandas. But Canada's a big place. And though the Breakfast Club does amazing work, there's still more work that needs to be done. A lot of people who are bringing up the slack are the schools themselves. These schools are doing amazing work with their breakfast and lunch programs. In fact, the practicum that I was at had a great breakfast program ran by the EAs of that school. You know, these EAs did amazing work. They were making flapjacks and grilled cheese for dozens of students, filling their bellies and keeping their minds sharp. The program was amazing, and it was even better than the lunch program. See, the lunch program they had incorporated all the EAs plus some of the students with exceptionalities to make lunch for kids who had nothing. I mean, the work that these guys were doing was amazing, and I was super proud to be even in the same room as them. As I was watching these guys make a difference with something as simple as a ham sandwich, it started to get me thinking, why is this not a thing throughout all of Ontario? Now, I've heard these horror stories of kids going to cafeterias and being $1 short, having their food taken away from them. Or teachers having to buy a chicken wrap for a kid who can't afford anything else to eat that day. And this also got me thinking about the cuts being made to education right about now. Now, if these cuts keep continuing, these programs might be in jeopardy, and so might their cooks. Like I said, EAs are the backbone of this program. And from what I hear from the Ford government, their jobs are in serious jeopardy. Now, I don't want to get political, but anybody who thinks that a student doesn't have a right to have food in their bellies when they're studying to be policemen, doctors, or lawyers should really reevaluate what they want from society. Now, I do believe that food is a right. And if you disagree with me, then not only are you privileged, but ignorant to boot. Now, if our schools are public and supposed to be free of any kind of bias, then why is it that I can have one kid full and another hungry? I mean, it makes no sense to me. Some folks might say that if we start paying for the lunches that these kids desperately need, then all the kids who don't need it are going to want free lunches, and we simply don't have the money for that type of program. First off, they're wrong. Second off, there is no second off. They're completely and utterly wrong. Finland, Sweden, India, Estonia, even Estonia has free lunch programs for all of their public schools. If they can do it, why can't we? We need to be better with our money. Last year, in Alberta alone, we bought a pipeline for $4.5 billion. That's billion with a B. If we can spend money on that, why can't we spend money for education? Oh, another argument they come up with is that giving these kids a program like this is not equal treatment. Well, let me tell you a little thing about equality and equity. Equality is treating everybody the same, whereas equity is giving everybody the means to succeed. And buddy, if we keep cutting education and getting rid of these programs like the Breakfast Club, then we're gonna have a very unsuccessful generation of young Canadians.